I'm keeping this here so I can see if that goes off.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to stay on. Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the Newcomers. We're coming to you from our home in the Villages, Florida. You know, we're here every week, and we bring you a little bit about how we live, what goes on here, all those kind of things. And we're right in the middle of a nice heat wave.
It's beautiful outside. I went to go get the mail a while ago, and there were so many people at the pool, could hardly find a spot to get the mail.
87 degrees right now. Mm-hmm. You want to go take a dip after a while?
I do.
Maybe we'll go swimming. We go to the Dunedin pool. Mm-hmm. Who knows, if you're over there sometime, you might bump into us.
But don't take all my parking spots.
Hey, if somebody's joining us for the first time, mm-hmm. how would you describe our show?
Well, it's just about the life of what we do. We answer questions from our viewers, and we try to give them a little bit of what we do in the villages, like activities, where we go out to eat, just a little tidbits.
Does that sound interesting?
No. But people are watching, and who knows?
Yeah, we do enjoy bringing it to you. I remember when we were back in Indiana, and we didn't know anything about the villages. You remember what I always say. I thought it was like the little
the
community
Cocoon.
in the movie Cocoon with Don Amici and Wilford Brumley and all those people, but it's quite a bit bigger than that.
It's quite a bit bigger.
That's why we share with you, and we're not experts, and we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. On today's show, we're going to tell you...
We're going to look at the grass down here.
The grass.
Yeah, the grass. We got different kinds of grasses. We'll tell you about them.
And one viewer says that we misled our viewers.
Oh, dear. And allergies are causing problems.
If there are only 2 people in your family, is it cheaper to eat out than it is to cook at home?
A letter from one of our viewers breaks our heart.
And we're going to take a look at a community garden. We've had multiple questions in the last few weeks about gardens.
Well, they're in the season. It's time.
Yeah. All that and more. Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions. We've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
Look at this little guy. He's so tired. His life is so hard.
It's time for his nap.
Yeah. We usually do it at the end, but we realized it was like an epiphany.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't watch till the end. Can you believe that?
What? What's wrong with you people?
So please, stop what you're doing. Hit that subscribe button and join us, and you'll get to hear our adventures, or maybe our not so adventurous, every week.
Yeah, and follow us on Facebook too. Just look up Jerry and Linda.
Right. Linda's been doing her cleaning. She's been doing the spring cleaning. She had a little get-together with her friends last night. Mm-hmm. Do you men out there find that when your wife entertains, your house gets cleaned really, really good?
When a visitor comes, that vacuum's coming out.
Yes, it does. And I've noticed that the quality of our snacks go up when you entertain the ladies.
You're right. You have to impress a little bit. You want to give a little bit more effort. You just feel that's important.
Upcoming entertainment here in the Villages. Bernadette Peters is coming to the Sharon. Mm-hmm. I'm really familiar with her. Mm-hmm. She's a great actress, and she's also a singer.
She's beautiful.
I think she used to hang out with Steve Martin too.
Yeah, she's
But
beautiful.
Anyway, those tickets are on sale. Mm-hmm. And Victory Productions has a special code. When you reserve your tickets, if you punch this in, you'll get a 10% discount.
Yeah.
It is NEW, N-E-W, 2023. We are going to go see a group called Leonid and Friends, and they do a lot of Chicago type. It's brass. I've got some friends that have been and watched that, and they say
Big
it's
band.
really good. And then we're going to see Modern Gentlemen. And basically, from what I understand, that is some of the Four Seasons.
Very good.
That used to be with Frankie Valli.
Nice.
Great singer. And they're going to be performing at the Savannah Center. So we're going to go see them on April 25.
April's going to be a fun month.
Yeah. Linda came across something really interesting the other day. She found a design flaw, or some kind of flaw anyway, in her t-shirt. What's up with that?
Yes. I don't know if any of you out there get holes in your t-shirts, but I do.
Look at the picture.
Right there in the belly.
So many of her shirts have a hole right there. Now, she doesn't wear a belt, so it's not from a belt. What do you think it's from? Anybody know what that's from? Help us out.
Can I give an explanation?
Yeah.
I think it's just friction. In fact, I went on a little outing this week with a bunch of girls. About 8 of us had lunch together for a birthday celebration, and we all talked about holes in the T-shirts. And I'm not the only one.
And you thought this wasn't going to be a fascinating show.
It happened.
Well, what's the friction from?
I don't know. And the girls I talked to, they don't have the zippers. They don't have the buttons. We got the pull-on pants. And it's just your tummy against the shirt. And I don't know why there's certain little holes. So I'm getting ready to throw out the softener. I'm not doing the softener anymore. How many of you out there use softener in your laundry? I'm changing my mind. No more softener.
All right.
Anyway.
We'll see how long that lasts. Boy, you are so tired. Let's do our sweet and salty.
We should do it.
I think I should do the sweet one again this week.
You are so sweet, Jerry. You should do it.
Good morning, Jerry and Linda. I don't have a question. I've emailed you before and I asked some questions and I sent a joke. I think I found you in 2020 during the pandemic. I'm in my mid-40s. I'll be 45 in August. It's funny because since finding you, I'm not scared to grow older anymore. In fact, I dream about it. That's great for us on so many levels because number one, it's a young person watching, and we love that. And we have people in their 20s even watching. So hats off to you, gifted young people watching our show. And this person said they used to be a little bit scared of growing old, but now they're looking forward to it. You know what I always say? It seems like every step of your life. When I'm young, you get married. Oh my gosh, I got a beautiful bride. I bought my first home. It's a little cracker box. We paid $17,000 for it.
We really did.
And I thought that was the best time of my life. And then we had kids and these beautiful, perfect children. And I thought, this is the best time of my life. Then you get up toward retirement and you retire and you think, wow, this is the best time of my life. Then you move down here to Florida and you find out this is the best time of your life. So every time I blink my eyes, and believe me, we know that's because we're still in good health.
That's
Can
true.
turn at any time. But right now we're really enjoying it. And thank you for the sweet comment. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum,
A little bit of salty. Is it Jeef? Jeef the Great. So this guy in his wig and his mom are living in Florida.
I think
we all take offense to this.
I think you're the mom in this equation.
Well, I'm not a guy with a wig. Mom, okay, Jeef.
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 Obviously, that's a young person.
Jeef.
Yeah.
Do you still live at home?
All right. No retort needed.
No.
You guys can judge that for yourself.
Yep. We'll start with our first question. You touched on having gardens in your yard. Are there any public areas where one can start a garden without worrying about breaking rules or upsetting neighbors? Yes, there are some community gardens, and it's a wonderful project. I have a neighbor behind us that has joined that garden, and she's planted many kind of plants. She's got cabbages, there's tomatoes, she has beans, pole beans, all kinds of stuff.
I'm showing you some pictures right now of those. She said that you just sign up in town. For example, the one that's being pictured is in Wildwood, right off of 301 there to the west side of the Villages. And you go and apply, and if there's a spot, you get your beans and your taters and whatever you want to put out there, and you go put them in the ground.
They have water. You don't have to worry about water. They have water piped to your little garden, so that's great. You don't have to pull hoses every which way. So that's awesome.
That would be the thing in Florida. You gotta have a good supply of water.
You do.
You know, that was another thing from last week. We talked about, can you have a garden in your yard? Our yard is reclaimed water. That's what kind of sprinklers we have. That's not supposed to be good for plants that you eat.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh, Lord.
I got to shed a tear. Got to get my acting skills on now. Okay. Oh, Start over. Redo. I'm sorry. You're crying. Quit
She
it.
tired. She is very tired. She told me she needs a nap.
I need a nap really, really bad. Okay, here we go. I'm butchering this all to heck.
What?
Now, if you... Stop it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you see it? Can you see it?
I do.
Okay, this is the...
Edgar and Ruby write in, what is your favorite time of the year living in the villages and why?
Wow, that's hard to explain too, because winter is fun. It's cold. I get to put on my little jackets, my coats, and I feel like I've had a change of season. So December definitely is fun for me. But that it's not ice and snow, so that's good. I would say my favorite would be, I say fall. I like fall. It's just getting crisper. The summer is over. You can feel the coolness coming, and it's just perfect weather.
The fall was our favorite, probably up in Indiana. Of course, spring is great too after you've suffered and endured through that winter.
Yes.
And you see it. But here, fall can be pretty hot. You go and remember our what do you call it, lifestyle visit in October?
Well, true. Okay, say November.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Probably a really good December. Our December got cold
the
here.
off season. You know, when those snowbirds come down here, that's the time you want to be here. That's the milder temperatures.
Yeah.
But it's more crowded. So right now we're approaching a time when you still have mild temperatures and some of the snowbirds are going to be heading north. That's a pretty good time of year.
Yeah, yeah.
So right now is a great time of year. And in fact, at nighttime we're out on the golf cart and we say, boy, this is the time of year we came for.
We do. And then sit
Springtime.
out on the front porch and you're just sitting there on your little rocker. It's lovely, as my word is.
Like here it is March and it's 87 degrees today.
Yeah,
Pretty nice.
yeah. This is from Carl and Shirley. If a couple in their 50s owned a home in the villages and passed away, leaving a 29-year-old son or daughter as their heir, would that son or daughter be allowed to stay or live in his or her inherited village's home?
Great question and a
Yes.
controversial question. Okay, we don't know the answer to questions like these. So we contacted people that do know. When you sign a purchase agreement here in the villages, it says that one of the people on that deed must be 55 years old or more. So if that property was transferred to a 29-year-old, as in the letter, it's not going to work. Somebody has to be on that deed, 55 or older. Now, a 30-year-old, in fact, a 29-year-old can live here, but somebody in that house is supposed to be 55 or older.
Okay.
That's the rule. Now, is it enforceable? I don't know. But that's what they shoot for. This one is signed by somebody named Gesundheit.
God bless you.
Yeah. I have those dreaded Midwestern allergies. Do people find that living in Florida helps, or are the allergens just as bad there? Boy, what a seasonal question that is.
That is. I think it goes both ways. I've had people tell me that they have lived in the north and had terrible allergies and have come here and they've gone away. Vice versa. I've had people say they didn't have allergies there, come here and have allergies.
What was it? Oh, it was the live oaks were blooming, and some people said that was driving them crazy. For me, springtime in Indiana, my eyes would swell up. I would get a runny nose. It was horrible for me. I don't have it down here at all.
Yeah.
But it's been really good for me. Other people say the opposite. So I think everybody has allergies to different things.
There's something always blooming here. I mean, every season, even in the winter, something new is coming out. So, but yeah, it's questionable.
We don't have serious allergies. We've never taken allergy shots or anything.
Yeah.
So it'd be better to ask that for somebody that had a history of serious
Very
allergies.
serious ones, yes. This is from the Carters in Schaumburg, Illinois. You mentioned expenses a couple of weeks ago. Is it cheaper to eat out than cook at home if there are only two of you? That's what we heard. Well,
You had lunch today. You went
I
out and ate
did.
lunch. Did you
I
have a
did.
massive lunch?
I had a flatbread.
A flatbread.
Flatbread is like a pizza, right? But it's
Okay.
flat. And it had tomatoes, cheese, a little bit of meat. It was called Black and Blue. That little, let's say it was like this size, came to $17 times you had tax, and your tip, it was a $20 bill.
Over $20
Over
for
20.
lunch. I promise you, two of us can eat at home cheaper than $20. So I've never really agreed with that. I mean, it sounds good if you want to go eat out. That's what you say. You say, "Oh, we can eat out just as cheap as we can we can eat at home." In fact, we know people that eat out every night, just about. But it's not affordable for us. I mean, if lunch is $20, then dinner is going to be $30, and for two of us, that's $60. If you did that a couple times a week, we did the math a couple of weeks ago on that show. I mean, it's much cheaper to eat at home. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I very seldom, and I'm sorry to the villages, I very seldom have a meal here at dinner time that when I leave, I think, wow, that was a great meal. I don't get that experience. But on the other hand, when I'm at Shea Linda here, she fixes meals, and I'm just about every time I say that was good. So I'd say
Well,
the first thing you do is you find a woman that can cook, and then it's not only cheaper to eat at home, it tastes better.
there you go. Yeah, it doesn't hurt on the pocketbook.
This is a comment we received that I responded to the person, and they did respond back, and so this has been solved partly, but I wanted to read you the kind of criticism that we get once in a while, and we want to talk about that just a little. I'm sorry if this sounds petty, but if you're going to give out information, you should be careful not to mislead people. I've met several newcomers who have watched your clips, trusted what you said, then realized after they purchased a home, they felt misled. Had they known there were other options, they would have looked at those as well. Well, I'm sorry about that.
Wow. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it went on. It was a lot lengthier. I've clipped that little segment of it to talk with you because I want to say at this point, as we tell you, please don't ever make a financial decision or buy a home or even pick out a watermelon based on what we tell you. You know, do your own research, and we don't want to be responsible for those big deals when somebody gets misled. In this case, it was about fences. They had heard us say that people could not build their own fence in the villages, which is true.
Very true.
You can buy a veranda home that has a fence. You can buy a villa that has a fence. But you can't buy a home and then construct your own fence.
Nope.
That's what we've said since day one. This person saw a show or two or three, whatever, and we had not said it in that particular language. They hadn't watched our other shows.
Yeah.
So they didn't know. We've already covered that. And so they thought that we misled them. Well, listen, like we said, don't buy a home because we like it.
Yeah.
You're the one that has to like it.
When you're going to purchase a home in the villages, you need to talk to your sales agent or your real estate agent about the type of homes that are here in the villages. There are designer homes, premier homes, villas, verandas, courtyard villas. All of those are different types of homes, and some are bigger than others, and there are a few that have fences. You cannot ever build a fence. So you need to ask your agent which home has a fence already established.
Yeah, and for what she said, I'm not contradicting you, but keep in mind that there are many different districts in the villages, and some districts have different rules than others. For example, I'm not sure if in Silver Lake or Orange Blossom, if you could build a fence now. I don't think you could, but they may have different regulations. Again,
Deed restrictions.
that's where you find out. You know, we'd feel terrible if we led you astray. So we're just telling you the best we know. And please don't hold it against us if you have a bad experience. And you know, it's the same thing when we recommend a house painter or somebody to work on your yard that we've had a good experience with. We're just telling you what we think.
Yeah.
You know, your results may differ, as they say. And we told you we would have a letter that would break your heart, and we did. We got an email from a person that is not having a good time here. And in fact, I thought we might do a show on this letter and try to help this person out. But we're going to read you a couple of excerpts from it, and you can get an idea what they're going through.
Okay. We've been having a hard time, but we will give it a chance. We pulled up to our new home, and I was looking for the sign on the window or in the yard saying, "Welcome, Bob and Betty." There was nothing. I know it's not a big deal, but I've seen so many welcome signs, I was looking forward to seeing mine. Then I waited for neighbors to stop by and welcome us like everybody said they would, and again after 3 weeks, nothing. Still waiting. I wave to them, I say hi, and all I get is crickets. Then on my first car ride out by myself, I was screamed at by an elderly gentleman who told me to either learn how to drive or go home. As he drove off, he gave me the finger, so I turned around and went home.
Yeah, her email went on to tell of a few other things, and they just aren't making it. And so we're going to communicate with them, and we thought some of you might have some thoughts.
That's really sad.
Yeah, I really hated to hear that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what we can do to get them enjoying life here in the villages. Tom and Betty say, "The grass in Florida looks so nice. What type do you have, and are there choices if you build in the villages?" Great question. The type of grass you have depends on the area that you live in. We live in an area when it was built that everybody, I believe, got Empire zoysia. And we like it. It's a green grass. It stays green pretty good throughout the whole year. And it feels good on your feet.
Right.
But now we're getting this pesky Bermuda popping up in there, aren't we?
I have a theory right now. It just struck me. Well, okay, so we're getting this extra grass. It's probably from our grass cutters. If we hire a grass cutter, we should say, which area are you cutting in? You need to stay in the area here that has this kind of grass. So you're not bringing the seeds in from the area.
That's a great idea. But we can't tell a grass cutter where he can cut grass and where he can't. But that's what these lawn companies will tell you. They'll tell you that if you have weeds, they're probably brought here on the mower of the guy. Today, we had our grass cut. And we have an excellent grass cutter. I really like the fellow. He told me today he cuts 250 lawns.
Well, they're probably not all the same grass.
No, probably not. And some of them have weeds.
Absolutely.
And he's bringing them. He can't take time to wash out his mowers after every time he cuts. For example, on our block here, he cuts, I think, 5 houses. You can't cut one man's lawn and then wash your mower off and cut the next guy's lawn. You know, they're just going back and forth, getting it all done. And something to think about.
Right.
But we have Empire zoysia. Our friends down in Marsh Bend and other places down there too have something called, what is it called? St. Augustine grass.
Yeah.
And up in Indiana, we call that crabgrass.
Man, it's real thick grass, real wide blades. It's very
It's
hard.
coarse, but it looks good.
Yeah.
It's very coarse if you step on it or touch it. And a lot of the grasses down here shoot out runners.
Yeah.
And then grass grows. It's very prolific. So that's what we have and other people here. But you cannot pick out your own grass. You couldn't decide, I want Kentucky bluegrass. This sun is brutal. Even with the sprinkling, some grasses wouldn't make it here. They've kind of researched it and they've given you grass that does pretty well.
Do you know of anyone that might have a room for rent? Preferably something within walking distance to the town square. I can pay around $500 a month. Thanks.
Another question we get, we got 2 of those today. Remember the other
Yes.
one? They wanted to know if we could recommend a VRBO house that they could, listen, we would love to help everybody out, but we don't get involved in the rental market at all. We don't know who rents. We don't know how much they charge. We don't know where they are. So, you know, if you're thinking about sending us a letter asking us if we can recommend a rental house, please don't. We don't have any idea on the rental businesses. Crystal from Queens, New York says, "You show animals all the time on your program. I'm definitely afraid of creepy crawlies, especially snakes. What can you say to alleviate my fears?" Crystal, we have not seen a harmful snake since we've moved here. We've seen some black racers, which eat bugs. We've seen a couple of ringneck snakes. She found 2 this week. That's rare, though. Very rare. They were this long. Take a look. I'll put him right there. He can hide, and hopefully he'll be okay. You can see that one was right at the foot of our driveway, laying in the concrete, and I picked it up and
He did.
I relocated it to our flower bed, and he's doing just fine. A ringneck, totally harmless. Creepy crawlies, though, reminded me. Remember that thing they used to sell called creepy crawlers?
Yeah.
You could make your own plastic and pour it into
Yeah.
a mold and make
Yes.
your own spiders
Yes.
and
Yes.
things. That was cool. But Crystal, don't let those little creepy crawlies stand in your way. In fact, we find fewer bugs here than we found in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
We had centipedes and we had spiders, and here we very seldom see them. Of course, our yard is heavily treated with insecticides.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. Hey, it's time for those shout outs.
Randy and Kristen got married last August.
Woohoo!
Randy's the one with the purple mohawk. They wanted to give a shout out to their sales agent, Chad, and say that they absolutely love their new home here in the village of Newell. I think I'd look good with a purple mohawk
No,
wig, like a present wig. You know.
I think not. Paul lives here in the Villages. We bumped into him and his daughter, Faith, down at Brownwood, Paddock Square, and she was on spring break from college. Such nice folks.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Paul was excited to see us. I'm not sure Faith was as excited to see us, but it's always good to see. And when we see young people, we say, "Hey, there's a young
Hey, that's a
person.
young kid."
That's good." This is Bill and Joanne. Look at Joanne's eyes. Isn't she a pretty eyes?
Beautiful.
Joanne went on our cruise back in July, her and Bill. I love to hear her talk.
Yes.
She said, Jerry, Jerry. She's from Texas, and she had the best accent.
She was a sweetheart.
Yeah, so hi to both of you.
Yes. John and Rita Feet are from Northern Virginia. We know that area well, don't we, Jerry? They said, see you when we get there.
Yeah, we had two sons that lived for a time in Northern Virginia. It's near Washington, D.C. We love Washington, D.C. We recently met Rick and Kathy Collier. It took them a couple of years to get here, but now they, too, are proud homeowners in the Villages.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
Tom and Sherilyn are so excited. They are going to rent in Citrus Grove until their home in Newell is finished in May. They are both avid viewers and super nice people.
Yeah, they came to Eisenhower the day we took questions out on the patio, and both of them are just real nice and,
Yes, I remember
and friendly.
them.
Nice to meet you guys. This is Steve. Now, Steve is from New York. I think he's from Syracuse, and he spent an entire month renting here in the Villages. And one day he said, hey, I'd love to meet you guys. Can we come down to Brownwood Paddock Square? That's usually what we say. Let's meet you in the square.
Right.
And we went down there, and he's a nice fella and the proud owner, like our buddy Greg, of a couple of Rolls Royces.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Scott and Lori did a lifestyle visit a couple of years ago, and he's a retired policeman, and she will retire this year from her job as a kindergarten teacher. Woohoo! A good-looking couple that will fit in great down here.
Yeah, he looks like Billy Joel, and she looks like Christy Brinkley.
All right.
They're a power couple. We'll see you when you get here.
Colleen sent in this picture of her husband, Bob. He met me at Walmart. I'm there way too much.
I second that. All right, brother, are you ready? You've taken it easy today. It's a lazy day. Take it away, buddy.
There's lots of dogs in our neighborhood. In fact, a family just moved in down the street, and they've got 2 dogs, and their names are Rolex and Timex. They're watchdogs. Watchdogs! I went to the optician the other day, and I told him, I think I need glasses. And they said, you're right. This is a pet shop. I was in a pet shop. Hey, you know, every joke can't be a winner, right? But I want you to know I'm working out. I'm doing crunches every day. Captain in the morning, and Nestle's in the afternoon. Hey, everybody, keep those jokes coming in. Send them to villagesnewcomers@gmail.com. Thanks so much. See you next week.
As usual, you didn't let us down. Thank you. That's going to do it for today's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Be sure to tune in on Thursday. We're going to go to the rodeo.
Oh my goodness. Exciting times. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook. Until next time.
See you when you get here.